In the name of Allah, my dear students, today we are going to have a new lesson for grade 3 in the second semester, module number 6. The lesson title is Countable and Uncountable Nouns. Today you will be able to, number 1, differentiate between the countable and uncountable nouns. Number 2, you will use how many and how much to ask about the countable and uncountable nouns. Let's start. Here I have different types of food. I want you to help me to name them. The first one is bees. 2, pepper. Onions. Lettuce. Flour. Tomatoes. Biscuits. And pineapple. The same types of food, I'm going to use them to sort them into two types. The first one, items we can count and you can call it countable nouns, and the other one is items we can count and we can call it uncountable nouns. Let's start. What about the bees? Where can I put it? Can I put it in the? Yes, in the uncountable nouns because I can't count them. What about number 2? The peppers. I have 2 peppers, so I can count them, so I will put them in the countable noun category. Number 3, onions. Yes, I have 2 onions, so I put it in the countable noun. Lettuce, I put it in under the uncountable nouns. I have only 1 pineapple. Very good. Under the countable noun. What about flour? Yes, uncountable noun. I have only 2 tomatoes, so I will put it under the countable nouns. The cheese is, yes, very good, uncountable noun. Milk is, yes, well done. It's an uncountable noun, so I put it here. Very good. The last one is biscuit. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I can count, so it will be under the countable noun. Now, we classified the types of food into 2 types, countable and uncountable noun. Here I have task number 1. In this task, you have a fridge. Yes, I can see different types of food. I want you to look and write what is in the fridge. Use there is or there are. Let us see the examples. Number 1. There are some bananas. With there are, we use bananas, and the bananas are countable. I can count them. So, with the countable nouns, I can use there are. Number 2. There is some chocolate. With there is, I use the chocolate because the chocolate is uncountable noun. So with there is, we can use the uncountable noun. Let's complete the activity. It's your turn. Number 3. What should we write here? I'm going to talk about the tomatoes. How many tomatoes do we have here? Yes, 3 tomatoes. So I'm going to write a sentence about it using there are. So the sentence will be there are some tomatoes because tomatoes is a countable noun. So I use there are. Number 4. Let's complete it with each other. In number 4, I'm going to talk about the milk. What about the milk? The milk is, yes, uncountable noun. So, which one should I use here? There is or there are? Yeah, I'm going to use there is. So the sentence will be there is some milk because it is uncountable noun. Number 5, the last one. I choose the apples. I have here many apples. So maybe they are 10. So I'm going to describe it using there are because it is countable noun. So the sentence will be, there are some apples. Let us see the answer. There are some apples. Yes, well done. Because apples, uncountable or countable? Yes, it's countable noun. Well done. Let's move to have a look here. In this part, we are going to learn how can we ask about the countable and the uncountable noun. Here, you can ask using something. We talked about it before. Is there or are there? With the uncountable noun we use is there. Like the example here, is there any cheese? The cheese is uncountable noun and we can answer in the affirmative form using yes there is. In the negative form we have two ways to answer. No there isn't or there isn't any cheese. With the countable noun we can use are there any peppers? Are there any peppers? Because peppers is countable noun. So I used are there. If I want to answer in the affirmative form, I have to say yes, there are. In the negative form, the same. I have two ways to answer. I can say no, there aren't, or there aren't any peppers. Let's move to task number 2. Here I have two types of omelette, Fatma's omelette and Ahmed's omelette. Here I have different questions. I want you to help me to answer in the short form. Number 1. Is there any cheese in Fatma's omelette? With the cheese I use is there because it is uncountable noun. I can see here some cheese in her omelette. So I will answer with yes, there is. Number 2. Are there any onions in Ahmed's omelette? I can see some onion here. So the answer will be yes, there are. Well done. Number 3. Are there any pineapples in Fatma's omelette? Let's have a look. Can you see any pineapples here? No, I can't see. So the answer will be in the negative form and it will be no, there aren't. Because there is no pineapple here. Number 4. Is there any peas in Ahmed's omelette? Yes, I can see some peas in Ahmed's omelette. And with the peas I used is there because it is uncountable noun. So the answer will be yes, there is. I can see some peas in Ahmed's omelette. So the answer will be yes, there is. Let's move to the second part of our lesson today. Here, we are going to learn how can we ask about the countable and uncountable nouns using something new. How many or how much? With how much, I can use the uncountable noun like cheese. So the question should be how much cheese is there in your omelette? You can answer with a lot or a little. I want you to know that with how much we use the uncountable nouns because I'm going to ask about the quantity. With how many, I should use the countable noun because I'm going to ask about the number. Like peppers. How many peppers are there in your omelette? And the peppers, it's countable noun. I can answer with a number or a few. Let's move to task number 3. In this task, you will complete the questions using how many or how much. Don't forget how many for number and how much for the quantity. Onions are there. The answer is 2. So which one should be here? How many or how much? I think how many because I have a number in the answer. So the question will be how many onions are there? Because the answer is 2. So I'm asking about a number. Number 2. Their flour is there. The answer is a little. So I'm asking about a quantity. So the question will be how much flour is there? Because I can't count the flour, so I have to ask with how much. Number 3. Sugar is there. Can you count the sugar? No, I don't think so. So you are going to use something about the quantity. So the question will be how much sugar is there? Because the answer is a lot. I can't count the sugar. So I use the how much. Number 4. Let's see what will be the question. Peppers are there. Can you count the peppers? Yes, I can count them. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is a few, and I can use something about the number. How many peppers are there? How many peppers are there? Because I'm asking about a number. And countable noun. Number 5, the last one. Cheese is there. The answer is a little. The answer is a little. So I have to ask, cheese is countable or uncountable noun? It's uncountable noun. So I'm going to use how much. So the question will be how much cheese is there? Because the cheese is uncountable noun. Well done. Now, thank you and good luck.